Alrighty, well, John, you've spoken, all throughout the season about positivity, the boys really sticking together, staying positive and optimistic through some of the difficult results. So, what's the buzz like amongst the group after last week's win?
Yeah, look, everyone is in a good space because of that win that we ended up deserving against Brisbane. We performed well. Things didn't seem like they were going to go our way, but the boys didn't drop their head. They just kept on going and playing the football that we want to play, and in the end we got the deserved 3 points. So it's been positive, but we also know that we're still trying to improve and still working hard together, and we know we've got a difficult game on Saturday, but they're looking forward to it.
You've spoken a fair bit throughout your time here about not getting too high with the wins and too low with the losses. Is that sort of something you're emphasising this week to just stay on track, keep going on the course, and developing?
And the players are, it's not like they're getting carried away. You want them to celebrate the wins, and after the game, everyone was happy and celebrating. But come first day back, you're focused on the next game and making sure you're working on, the way we want to play and our attacking, structures and our defensive ones. So it was important that we've had another really good week on the track, and it's now about getting another good performance in against Sydney, and it's going to be tough, but the boys are ready for it.
I suppose the elephant in the room that you won't be on the sidelines. I imagine, despite that, it's been exactly the same as normal throughout the week in terms of preparation.
Yeah, a lot of our preparation, for the game goes on during the week, and the players understand what they need to do and the roles and what the opposition will be doing, and how we can hurt them, and their strengths as well. So that's gone on during the week already, and then game day, they'll still be able to get the team talk back at the hotel. And then it's all about them really game day, and it's the same when if I'm on the sidelines or not. But I'm really comfortable with the coaching staff we have. Hayden Fox has been around a long time, a lot of experience, has actually taken over for a period as well as a head coach, and everyone that's supporting will be there to support the playing group. But I'm sure that they'll be able to cope with it.
Daniel Pena, you've talked about him just continuing to develop his rhythm and fitness. It's just looking like it was bad luck after bad luck for him. I think obviously up to the point when he finally gets his goal, he'd had two disallowed, hit the woodwork a few times throughout the season. So how's he? I'm sure he's buzzing.
Yeah, he is. He looks confident, but we also knew with Daniel that he'll get better as the season goes, and also like the biggest thing that I noticed from the weekend, because it was easy for us to drop our heads, and especially Daniel, that wasn't feeling it was going to be his day or his night, but he didn't. He kept going, and he played without fear. He was brave, and to step up and take the penalty, and that's what we want from all our players, to be brave and play our football, and when you do that, normally the results will come.
Talking about keeping going, you've been asked a few times throughout the season, particularly through some of the losses, about some of the leaders that are standing up amongst the group. Obviously, none more so than Josh, with not only his winning goal, but a really big performance from him on the weekend. How integral has he been to the group as a whole in terms of his performances on the pitch and his impact off it?
Look, I thought that was Rizzo's best performance on the weekend. A lot of people see his, when he goes forward and his end product when he's going forward, but we see a lot of what we want to see defensively, and on the weekend he was outstanding, and he led by example, and it was it was always going to happen that be playing like that and leading like that he was going to be the one to step up to score the winning goal. And Daniel's shown good leadership qualities as well. I thought Ben Grucho was again even better. We had a lot of boys that stepped up, and people might not think they're natural leaders, but they're showing that through a tough period of 6 losses, whether we think we've played well or not well, it's not easy to get out of that rut and of not getting those wins. And those boys really stood up on the weekend.
Big moment for Reese Bosowski as well. He's obviously been out for quite a while. Came off the bench in a real high pressure moment to come on for for his first appearance in however long it's been. Still, obviously, a very young player, settled in perfectly into the pace of the game. I'm sure you would have been pleased to get him back on the pitch, and two, to see his quality on there as well.
Yeah, and he knows that there's still a lot of improving and work to do. But I'm also of the belief when, especially he's come back from injury, so he's been out for a long time. But, I've got no problem in playing young players when they're ready to perform. And Reese has shown that with the way he's been training, the way he's been performing, with our NPL side in a couple of friendly games. And, it's the same with Noel Botic. Again, we'll give him, games that he needs, because he's a very good player. We know that. People talk about he hasn't scored for a little bit, but I've got no problem. I know he will score goals, and he was outstanding. His all-round play on the weekend was excellent. So, the younger boys have been, dealing with this situation of, where we're at on the table, and they'll be better for it in the future.
And just the final one, you've touched a little bit on Sydney, but perhaps a little bit similar to us in terms of perhaps not getting some results that they might have deserved during the season. We obviously know their quality, particularly the two wingers. We faced them in the cup as well, so you may know a little bit extra about them compared to other teams that we haven't faced.
Yeah.
You mentioned it'll be a tough test. So what are you expecting?
Oh, look, they're a little bit different under WUFC Media, but they're quality side with the ball. They move the ball really well. So we have to make sure that we're organised. We get pressure on the ball in good areas. We know about not only their wingers, but the majority of their players. They're good on the ball. So we have to make sure there's not a lot of space for them. And they haven't had the results, but they're still a very, very good team. For me, they're still performing well, but the results haven't been there. So it's going to be a good game. It'll be an exciting game, but it's going to be a tough one for both sides.